Hello, I'm Nick Park from Evangelical Alliance Ireland, and this is our weekly message. It might be Friday, but Sunday's coming. And actually, the message I'm sharing today was the one we were supposed to share last Friday, but we were very much overtaken by events with the Turkish earthquake and the dreadful loss of life, and so many people's lives affected. Millions of people's of lives have been directly affected, and so we wanted to highlight that and give people an opportunity to give, and we encouraged you to give, and you still can give if you haven't done so already. We are encouraging people to give through the Turkish Evangelical Alliance and their First Hope Association, which is Turkish Christians working on the ground to make a difference to the survivors of the earthquake, and the details are on our website evangelical.ie. But today I want to focus in on a survey. Like I say, this was supposed to be last Friday's message because last Wednesday or last Thursday there was a poll done by journal.ie, the online newspaper. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the journal.ie. It's actually good quality news reporting. It's in an online format. Sometimes you read the stories and it can be a bit off-putting with the comments because it's like there's no holes barred, and you seem to get every crazy and angry person shouting their opinion out and pulling everybody else down. But if you can ignore the comment section, it's actually quite a good news source. But they run a poll every day. And last Thursday, they ran a poll in the light of some of the stuff that's going on in the Church of England at the moment. And I don't want to comment on that now. It's very disturbing, some of the things that's going on in the Church of England right now. And we will be commenting on that in due course. But this poll, based on all of that, was asking people, well, do you pray? And there were four different options that people could put. You could put that yes, I do pray, or I pray sometimes, or I pray rarely, or I pray never. And nearly 12,000 people voted on that in the first 24 hours. And looking at the results of that, I was struck by how many people in Ireland do pray. Basically, those that said, yes, I pray, was 43.8%. Those who say I never pray was 29%. Those who said I pray sometimes, 15.8%. And those who pray rarely was 11.3%. Now, I know some people will immediately zero in on the bad news there and say, look at that, 29% of people in Ireland don't pray, never pray. Oh, look at what we're becoming. But the fact is, that still means that a huge amount of people do pray. It means that 71% of people pray either regularly or sometimes or rarely when there's a great need, for example. 71% of the people of this country still turn to prayer at one time or another and in one form or another. Now, that in itself is something I believe is worth celebrating. You don't have 71% of the population attending church, although church attendance is, compared to other activities in Ireland, still very high. More people attend a place of worship every week than attend or participate in soccer matches, rugby matches, and Gaelic matches all put together. You take the combined totals of spectators and participants in those three sports, they don't even add up to the number of people that go to church every week. So we do need to remember that there's still a great interest in God and in church in this country. But there's also a load of people, according to these statistics and according to this poll, that don't go to church, but they still pray at least some of the time. And that means that there's a whole group of people there who have not shut the door on God, and that we can still reach out to, if you like, very effectively and easily, much more so than somebody that's become really hardened and opposed. Now, that's one takeaway from this poll. But the other thing that I would really take from this was when I read through the comments. Because having just read all the poll results, so it's only 29% of people that never pray. The people who do pray, at least sometimes, 71%. And it's when you read the comments are dominated by the nevers. The people who never pray, making as hurtful comments as they can about God being made up and how horrible religion is and how religious people are stupid and everything else. And it just brought home to me something that I've been aware of for some time, is the people who are opposed to religion, The people who never believe in God, the people who never pray, the people who never attend a place of worship are a minority in this country, but they are a vocal minority. And sometimes it seems like because they're so vocal, we think that that's a much more of a widespread opinion than it actually is. You know, it's like if you're sat in church and during the preaching somebody was to start shouting out all abuse and rubbish and everything else, you would hear the one person, you wouldn't hear the hundreds of other people who are sat enjoying what's being said and being engaged with the preaching and everything else. The vocal minority is often what is heard. And the fact is that there is a vocal minority in this country that hates the church, that hates Jesus Christ, that hates Christians, that wants to mock, that wants to destroy, that wants to put us down. It's vocal, it's not nice to listen to, but it is a minority. And we need to celebrate that fact, and we need not to get overly worked up about this vocal minority. They've got a big mouth, but they haven't actually got a big voice. And so in Jesus' name, we need to be encouraged. There's so many people in this country are still open to discovering God for themselves. They're still into, as the recent What's the Story campaign and the huge numbers from that accessed the videos that were produced through the advertising campaign and using the QR codes and everything else. There is a huge number of people, a majority of people in this country who are open to knowing more about God and knowing God if they can see that he is real. And for us in the church, that's good news, and that should be encouraging news. It might be Friday, but Sunday's coming.